Yo, what's up guys? Elliot here. Just grinding some 100 zooms, so I thought I'd record a quick video. We see bet range here, top right, versus min. I think we have a clear as day call. And on the left versus jam, which is pretty interesting. Nothing still other than fold. Jackson off versus 3x. I think this is a weaker player as well, so we'll just 3-bet some of the time. Actually on the 76 we won't. Obviously getting a worse price, not as attractive to call. And ace king here is pretty close. I just never think we're ahead versus a weaker player in this line, so I think we just fold. And king queen will call here. Blue's my like sort of nit tag or slightly tighter. So check. Ace 5 will 3-bet pure here, and jack 10. So our bluff's going to revolve more around hands like 5-6 and hearts. So just pretty easy check. We've got a cold caller here. You can see pool's pretty good. We'll sort of play our hand versus fish. I think check again on the left, but can do some betting too. I think we check and give up top left. Versus half's pretty weird. Check river. But I think I just like going half. Fold. Literally just trying to fold out. I'm not expecting to get folds from pairs here. I actually don't really like the bet now, thinking about it too much. And now we're just going to give up here. Not really too interested in trying to fold him off his pocket sevens, pocket eights, or whatever he's got. I should have just checked turn really. Pocket tens. I think that's probably a mistake. Again versus weaker player, we'll just start with bet on the 10-9 deuce. Raise the ace king. Now we just check. Don't want to really isolate ourselves against better flush draws. And now I think we just got the best hand most of the time. So I'm just going to bet and fold to a raise. Yeah, pool seems pretty good, and the grind has been going okay. Not great, but okay. Been running a little bit bad, and I think playing a bit bad too at times. Pretty good board for range, top right, but we are multi-way, so I think I'll start with a check, and we'll go from there. Cut off here is a weaker player. 6-3 is loose. Now top left, I think with this guy in the pot we'll just play our hand. I think our hand sort of wants to bet half pot. I think slightly larger is probably fine too when the big blind doesn't open the action. And this is pretty weird when he doesn't bet flop. So I sort of think he's saying he has fives. I don't think we can fold yet, so I'm going to call. And hopefully he just shows down some kind of spew. This is pretty weird, but I think versus fish. We just make the fold here. Not sure what he's saying he's got, but just don't expect it to be good. Ace 10 suited will 4-bet some of the time. We'll just fold the king 9 bottom left. And ace 3 I think is pretty heavy 3-bet. We've rolled a 7e, but I think we'll just 3-bet it anyway. Now very easy fold to the 4-bet. And yeah, I guess no, he's gone slightly larger here too. So I think we'll just be playing mainly jams or folds here, and ace 3 off's clear fold. King queen off, I will mix in 3-bet sometimes, not on the 65. And deuces I will open with the 2 weaker players here, button big blind. Don't really know any of these players, so I'm just going to open king 9 off. Ace king off, obviously pure 3-bet. So very good board for range here. Obviously we're betting a linear range from the small blind, whereas things do look a bit different from the big blind. And ace queen 8, I think we can just start with a small size with range. Pretty difficult, I actually think, how to react to that small size. And I think population generally tends to overfold, even to the small size, and something I looked into that I was doing myself too. Queen 7 off here, I think we'll just fold. And 7-8 suited, I was RNG here. We won't open a 38. King 3, Queen 8, King 4. A little bit laggy when I'm recording at the same time, but I think it's okay. Yeah, we're almost at 500 subscribers, guys, so yeah, I'd appreciate those of you who do watch and aren't subscribed. If you could chuck in a subscribe, that would be pretty sick. And yeah, I think it would be quite cool to get to 500. Then I guess from there it's the road to 1000. 6-7 off here, I think I'll call half the time, and we will on the 35. Easy 3-bet top left. Oh my god, this hot's going crazy. Bottom left versus half. I think we just have a pretty easy call, nothing much to say. When he checks here, pretty interesting. I think we'll just check. And ace 10 suited, mixing 4-bet sometimes. Versus the large size here, top right, I think we can even start to fold some King X. And I think King Queen does get in there sometimes. I'm just going to make a pretty tight fold here. Versus the small size, we can't really fold. I think for this size, you can have some Jack X, 8s, 9s, 10s type hands. All of those sort of mediocre hands that he checks down. But yeah, I don't think we ever really fold here. And he's got King 10. Versus the half here, I'm kind of tempted to raise, but I think being in position versus the fish, we can make a call because we can still get paid. versus him, and now I think we have to bluff 5-5. It's going to start with half top right, probably a bit bigger here as well. I'm just going to check here versus fish. I don't even expect him to start folding Jack X there, and often you'll see they play those calls just to check call a lot. I think that's a mistake I've been making quite a lot. So even though, yeah, we have a pretty shit hand by the river. Gonna 3-bet versus the recreational player here. I'm gonna bet big here, and I'm gonna call top right. Ace 8 to start small versus fish. So bottom left we've got hands like Jack 10, stuff like that, which I think we used before Queen 6. Having hearts isn't great. I'm going to bet this one before 40. We'll check this time. Now in terms of size, so we do unblock a lot of the board with our 6 here. Issue is when he checks back, I think he'll probably bet a lot of his 2-pair and a lot of his stronger hands anyway. So I think we just do this and just hope to get called by something. We can start with a half pot size top right. Queen Jack will mix in sometimes, not on a 60 suit. I can see some merits to 3-bet in this hand. I haven't really studied 3-betting the flop too much. These check raises are generally going to be weighted more towards high equity hands, so draws and value. But I think we have a pretty easy check. Villain should be using a small sizing now. I think we check the Queen Jack. Don't think we can fold yet. And on the Jack, trying to think if we ever have a value bet. I think we actually do. I'm going to play small bets and over bets here. So I'm just going to do this. Nice hand. Top right now, really passive player. So I'm just going to fold pure. We can obviously, well, we'll have to call sometimes there. But I just think, yeah, versus like 45 on win saw flop, 7% check raise or whatever it was. We're obviously bluff catching here, but I wouldn't even be surprised if we were to do some node locking. This call will start to become losing. 4 deuce will fold and deuces will open again with the weaker players and nit in the big blind. Ace 3 off or fold. I think we start with ace 4. Not sure. Easy fold. Queen 6 out of position will start with a check and see what he does. Don't think it makes too much sense to build many raises here, especially with a hand like Jack's, which isn't mediocre. Obviously very high equity here, but then we don't want to start isolating ourselves against the Queen essentially. Easy call though. Easy call versus half, whatever it is. And again, this guy plays a little bit on the tighter side. What did he have? Pocket 9, so just sizing his hand all the way. I think pretty poorly played. 9-8 off will call. Ace 10 will start with check. I think I was going to block bottom left versus fish, or maybe even go half weaker player. Top left, I think we're going to start with check. 8-9, pretty middling hand, and getting check raised it kind of sucks. Check again. Oh shit, I didn't realise that we had a straight on the turn, my bad. Now we are just gonna do this. And he picks up some Queen X, has some Jack X as well. I think this is fine. And versus a fish, I am gonna bet again here. Again, just sort of sizing my hand. And yeah, also, if you guys have any other ideas about what kind of material or content you'd like to see on the channel, let me know. I do like posting the Play and Explains for selfish reasons, really, because it helps me improve. Top left, range bets versus weaker player, and this guy's only 3-betting 8% of the time, or as in, well, which is okay, but I guess he looks kind of nissy here, so I think we'll just check. Fold even. King Jack will call, and King X, King Queen, we're right in the middle of our range now, so we'll check. I think I'll mainly be playing like blocks or checks. Top right. I think I like check. I think people make a few more mistakes against check. And now, with the board so locked up, I'm trying to think what the best size is. We unblock Ace X and Jack X, which is pretty nice here. So let's do this. I think overbetting would just be a mistake. I just don't think he's ever really strong. So maybe let's just bet small and see if we can induce something. A7 will mix in sometimes here. Okay, let's see what you had. Pocket sixes, alright. I think we just pure fold A7 here. Having like an over to the four is obviously pretty nice, but I think, yeah, I'd rather just have like ace 10. Just a bit more going on with the hand, whereas a7 is just pure ace high. Top left, I'm just going to fold even with the ace of spades. 16-6 this guy's playing. And ace 4, I think I'm just going to fold as well because he's so short. Yeah, I think bottom right, pretty interesting. How did the action go again? It was King 8 open, Ace 9 open. What happened here? Cool. Okay, so just check. So it's like quite a disguised boat we basically have here. But I think often some of these players are just so passive that they're literally just not going to have anything at all by the time they get here, other than just sort of very mediocre showdown. And I think we should just sort of try and quote unquote target that region, as opposed to just blasting, hoping to get called by a queen, because he'd bet a queen himself on the turn almost always. That was my sort of reasoning there. Top left, start small. 9-8. Actually, I'll open. Guy in a big blind looks kind of tight as well. I think 9's pure check now. Beat all the worst pocket pairs and some spade type stuff. But I think we're enough of the time to check. Don't need to turn it into a bluff. And 8-9, we'll start with small. Versus half pot. So I think he's just saying he's got a queen. Having a spade here is not great as well, as I think if he is bluffing, a lot of his bluffs will come from having a spade. So I think this player is pretty spewy though. Does he have enough like Jack 10? Ace Jack type hand. We'll flick it in. Jack 10, nice. Don't mind mixing in another check on the right. Now we pretty much have the best hand always. I think we just do some betting here and yeah, to see what he's got, but I think we're going to get a lot of folds, to be honest. Ace 5, so he's gone for a small 3-bet size here, which I think this play is pretty good actually, so I'm sure it's something he's studied. But Ace 5 off, I don't think we ever call. Maybe we start calling like Ace 9, Ace 10, although Ace 10 will 4-bet at some frequency as well, but I think Ace 5 just folds. Could be wrong though. I think it's probably a lot closer than it looks. 10-6. Again, we see this larger raise size, but he is weaker, so we are just gonna call and hope to hit something. Go for like another 5 minutes. So when this type of player does check back, he's going to be very capped. So he's going to have like a lot less sort of like ace X than a lot of the better players will have here. So exploitatively, I do like betting or just like increasing our betting frequency on this snow specifically. But I think yeah, we'll just not do anything with 10-6 and just give it up. Don't want to start getting too out of line. And that's not because we're going to get exploited, but I think, yeah, we just need to be careful. Again, we see the smaller size, even smaller this time. I'm really not sure. I'm probably going to have to look at this if this is something that people are going to do. I've got a funny feeling this guy probably hasn't studied it, whereas the other guy has. So yeah, we'll just fold here. 7-5-5 is not going to be a range bet, but I like having the Jack of Clubs and a 9 of Hearts to bet with here. It's going to reduce villains, check raises, and yeah, just I think if we have those suits specifically, they're more likely to fold flop, which is what we yeah, would like to do with that hand. You know, when we're bluffing, we're trying to unblock folds and block calls. Then vice versa, when we're value betting, we want to block, well, we want to unblock calls when we're value betting, essentially. On the left here, again, so we've got to be pretty careful not to oversee bet the monotone boards. I am just going to bet though versus a weaker player. And we're just going to play pretty straightforward. King 5 will open. Another fish here. Yeah, pool's pretty good right now. What's the time? 5 to 6 UK time. It's also pretty good in the mornings. It's more like the middle of the day when the pool starts to lull a bit in the UK. King 5 is just a fold. And 5-4. I think we call 6-5 sometimes and pure fold 5-4. Or would they ever call 5-4? Wish I folded now. So when he checks, I think our size is going to be small, and we can bet or check this hand. I'm going to actually just bet with this hand, as maybe they're a bit more capped than they should be when they check, especially this player profile. And he's gone for the small raise. So not sure whether that he's doing this for protection, maybe just has a flush. But 5-4, I guess, doesn't mind betting and just folding here. It's not like we're only folding. He's holding us off what, like 3 clean outs. So pretty easy fold. Ace 8-3. Again with the suits, just don't mind betting this one. And also we just have some pretty clean barrels, I think, on turns. And we will sit out next big blind. I think that's been about 25 minutes. And deuces, I think we just call sometimes. On a 0, we'll flick it in. I don't think we fold it pure. So I think this player will actually have some overpairs. I think we're going to bet deuces here, like before 25. So obviously we beat all the ace king, ace queen, ace jack, all the Broadway type hands. I don't expect to get check raised too much, but I think giving him the option to check raise us seems pretty bad here, especially when we are drawing to a flush as well. So I think we'll check again. And now I just think we call pure. I think we call pure now. I'd expect him to bet, or at least his offsuit broadways with a club, to bet at some frequency turn on river, although this board really isn't that favourable for him. And when he goes pot, with the deuces, we unblock all of the bluffs. And I think we're going to be good enough of the time here. Although I'm not in love with it, but I think that we do have to make this call. Yeah. And he had pocket fours. Okay, gone from being unhappy to calling deuces to winning the pot. Not sure how this spot works, to be honest. I was trying to work it out in my head. I think he will be checking this flop at a very high frequency and sets will get in there. I guess the turn just really isn't great for him. He's just doing terribly on this range, and I think we're doing really well. Like, we're going to have all the sets, 2 pairs, flushes, straights, at a high concentration he's going to have. You know, his range is sort of drowning in those that offsuit Broadway region. I think he was bluffing river. I think. I'm not sure whether he's value betting for the pot size. Not sure whether his hand's worth pot for what it's worth on this texture. Not sure, but I'll check it out afterwards. Yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And yeah, let me know, what you want to see. I'm interested to know what you guys want to see as well. I also watch loads of like content, around poker, and always have ideas about what I like seeing and what I don't. But yeah, if you haven't, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. GG, bye bye.